Hi students, in this video we will be discussing about Rhynia. Rhynia, this topic comes under the paleobotany session, and this is one type of fossil pteridophyte that we have to study. So remember, Rhynia is a fossil pteridophyte. Okay, fossil pteridophyte. And this fossil genus Rhynia was discovered by Kidston and Long in 1971 from a locality in Scotland, and that locality is named as Rhynie. So that is how the name Rhynia came for this. And only two species are there in Rhynia. One is Rhynia major and the other one is Rhynia weinwagoni. And regarding the systematic position or the classification, so it is a pteridophyte. So it comes under the division pteridophyte, subdivision Psilophytopsida, order Psilophytales, family Rhyniaceae, and genus Rhynia. Okay, and this is the sporophyte. The plant body is a sporophyte. This is the sporophyte. So this is the sporophyte, and it is a herbaceous fossil, and the plant body is a creeping type with dichotomously branched. See, these branches are dividing dichotomously. So this fossil was found in the rock crevices in the upright position and dichotomously branched with leafless shoots. You cannot find any leaves here, no? So the shoots are leafless. And regarding the two species, Rhynia major and Rhynia weinwagoni, the two differ in their height. The Rhynia major is having about 50 centimeters height, while the other one is around 20 centimeters only in its height. So in here the roots, they don't have any roots, but you can see rhizoids coming out of the rhizome. So a tuft of rhizoids come out of the rhizome to the underside. So this is the sporophyte, and the branches, they don't have any vascular connection from the main axis, and at the tip of the aerial branch they have a pear shaped or tapering pear shaped structure, that is the sporangia at the tip of the aerial branches. And this is the internal structure, simple internal structure it is having. And regarding the internal structure of the stem, the aerial shoot, it is having a very simple internal organization. It has an outer epidermis, and it has stomata also in between the epidermal cells. Then comes the cortex. In the cortex it is differentiated into inner and outer cortex. Outer region is having polygonal cells, as you can see in the figure. Outer cortex is having polygonal cells which may represent the hypodermal region. And the inner cortex, it is composed of parenchymatous loosely arranged cells with lots of intercellular spaces in between. And the cortical cells, they might have been photosynthetic also. And in the center you can see this dark zone, that is the stela region. So it is having a protostele. Xylem is arranged in the center, and this xylem is surrounded by phloem. 4 to 5 layer thin walled phloem cells are surrounding the xylem. Okay, it doesn't have any endodermal layer and the pericycle layer. These two are absent, and this is all about its internal structure. Okay, we have discussed all these points. And coming to the reproductive structure, as we have seen in the figure of the sporophyte, reproductive structures are sporangia. They are borne on the apical portion of the aerial branches, oval shaped or pear shaped. And the size of this sporangia, it may vary in both of the reported species also. And each of the sporangia, they are surrounded by a jacket layer as a covering. It has a jacket layer, and this jacket layer is made up of cutinized cells with thick cuticle. Okay, so they are having a thick cuticle, and this thick wall layered zone is followed by a thin walled cells to the inner side. Okay, and in the cavity, this is the cavity. Okay, so in the cavity, numerous spores will be present. Spores are formed as tetrads, and all the spores, they are of the same type. Homosporous condition is there, and each of the spores, they have a triradiate marking on their on the spore body, and this is this indicates the tetrad manner of its formation. So that means each of the spores, they are formed in tetrads, and it is authenticated by the marking, the triradiate marking on each of the spores. And they don't have any particular type of dehiscence mechanism, so that we can imagine that the spores, they are dehisced after the sporangial jacket gets decayed. Coming to the gametophyte, we don't have any clarity or more information is lacking about the gametophyte formation, but there are different views among different scientists. Each of them proposed different views, and according to one scientist, the rhizomatous part, it represents the gametophytic phase of the plant, because he is claiming this because of the presence of flask shaped cavities noticed there, and these flask shaped cavities, they may be probably the sex organs, disintegrated sex organs. And some other scientists, they suggest that in the species Rhynia weinlogani, it is the gametophytic phase of the first species, that is the Rhynia major. So they are claiming that the two species that we are speaking here, Rhynia weinlogani is the gametophytic phase of Rhynia major, according to one scientist named Pant. However, we cannot go strictly with, or we cannot strictly stick on to any of these views. All these are views proposed by each of these scientists, so none of these are having any satisfactory evidence. So that is all about the type Rhynia. In the next video, we will be discussing about the type Lepidodendron. Okay, for now this is all. Thank you.